Hey guys, so I must have filmed this video about 5 times now. I really don't know what to say, where to start. 2 years this February on the 25th will be when my uncle passed away. My uncle lived with my dad and me my entire life. Yeah, I lived with my mom throughout high school and would visit my dad on the weekends and stuff, but when I was younger, my uncle was my babysitter. We would go places, to the mall, go up and down the elevator, my bad. We would go up and down the elevator like 10 times because I had a blast doing it. I remember a place called Turtles and Tumbles or something like that. It was a place with a ball pit, and I used to love going there with him, playing the arcade games. I remember sometimes he would get in the ball pit and play with me. We used to go to the park and play on the playground. The TV shows we would watch Clifford, we would watch Madeline, Arthur. He would always make sure that I was well taken care of. And then the past couple years before I moved to Japan, so about 2015 to 2017, I lived with my dad and my uncle, so spending time with them, being there every day. It was nice to be able to see him and watch movies and share memories, hear stories. But living together, you tend to fight a lot. You don't see eye to eye, you bicker, you argue. There was a lot of hurtful things said and a lot of conversations where you just live under the same roof with people. People fight with their parents, their brothers and sisters. It was the same sin. And I know he knows I love him, but it's been hard. Ever since his passing, it's been me wondering, did he know I really cared? Does he know that he made such a difference in my life? Just remembering the days where we would argue and I would scream, "I hate you," and stuff like, "I wish my dad would just kick you out already," and stuff. It was hard. But I didn't mean those sins. My dad even got fed up sometimes, and we didn't mean it. It's just hard when you live with someone. But at the end of every day, I would hug him and tell him I loved him and I was sorry. And I really hope he knows that I did. He made a huge impact on my life. Every time I watch Glee now, all I can think of is him. Because he was the first person to introduce me to the show. He said, "Hey, here's a new show that you'll probably like since you like singing and dancing." And that show is my favorite show. I must have watched it like 7 or 8 times now. But more like 6, but still. The House of Night books, he got me reading those. I rebought those this year so I could read them. Kingdom Hearts 3 came out last year. If you can't tell, I'm a fan of Riku. Playing it with my husband was really hard because I remember growing up, sitting there watching him play, laughing, seeing the Disney World. It was one of my favorite things to do because it could connect us since he was a big video gamer when I was young. He loved the PlayStation and I liked Disney, so it was a way to play together where I wasn't bored the entire time. It wasn't like one of those typical video games where you're shooting zombies or whatnot. It was something that was interesting. I enjoyed the story. I wanted to watch him play it all the time. And last year we also got to meet one of the voice actors for Kingdom Hearts, Quentin Flynn. He plays Axel or Lee. And it was really cool. And I know that my uncle was there with me. I know he was there in that moment. I was living through him. And just little things like that. I just wish I could call him up and share it. I can still hear his reactions like, oh, that's cool, have fun, take pictures. He loved pictures and he would take them so much. And even people that he barely knew, he would show off pictures of me, the guinea pig, the cat. The guinea pig died last year. So I know he's up there carrying Mojo around, letting Mojo eat the grass if there is a heaven. I hope there is, because I hope to see him again someday. He's up there with my grandpa, who I never got to meet. My dad and his dad. My step-grandpa, he's basically my actual grandpa. I love him to death too. But I know my uncle's up there with his father. And they're both looking down. He's up there with my great-grandma and grandpa. I'm sorry. I'm just rambling. I really don't know what much to say. But I wanted to make this. I wanted to get my emotions out there. It's been hard every day. Memories that I just wish I could share, like we watched American Idol together. We loved Chris Daughtry. In 2018, I got to go to a Daughtry concert. He pointed at me. I got to touch his hand and everything. And I wish I could call him up and let him know. I'm gonna have a kid soon. I'm not pregnant now, but I plan on starting a family and he won't be there. That one hits me the most. He won't get to see my kids. He loved kids so much. Like, he loved talking and sharing stories. Sometimes it came off a little weird because like he would just like continue talking on and on, but he did. All the board games I used to play with him and my dad, and he would always win because he knew so much trivia. He was great at it. Watching game shows like Jeopardy and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I swear, like, he should have went out on one of those shows and won us some money. He was really intelligent and had a lot of random trivia facts and knowledge. One of my biggest regrets in my life is not letting him know I loved him enough. And on my wedding day, we got so caught up and busy, and he was in a wheelchair at the time because it was hard for him to do stuff with the condition he was in. And we just got so busy, I didn't get a picture with him. One of the best days of my life, and a person that meant so much to me, and I can't look back and say, oh, there's a picture of us from that day. At least he was there with me and he got to see it. At least God let him last so he could see it. Christmas time is hard because December 26th or 20. I left on the 27th, so the 26th of December was the last day I seen him. Saying goodbye, taking pictures, saying I'll see you again soon. I didn't know that 2 months later. It was just unexpected, out of nowhere. I remember that night. I gotta pause for a second. I'll be back, guys. Sorry about that. I needed to collect myself and have some water and stuff. I remember the night I found out. I wasn't feeling good. I was really dizzy. I was getting in the shower because I had such a headache. I was dizzy, and I thought maybe a cool shower would help me. I almost fell in the shower because I was so off balance. Trying to call my mom a couple times to ask her, hey, what should I do? It was my first time living on my own, so I was still calling up my mom every inconvenience, hey mom, what do I do if I ran out of eggs? Stupid things like that. And then a scene out of my worst nightmare. My dad's calling me and texting me, and I see a text. I'm at the hospital with UJ. He's unresponsive. I didn't know what to think or do. I thought I was living in a nightmare. Looking down on my phone, I tried to call him, but he's there. He said he does answer, I believe. I don't remember if I talked to him after it happened or during it. I don't know. It was a blur. All I know is I did get a text that said, he's gone. It was 9:30 at night here in Japan, so it was 7:30 in the morning there. And my whole thing changed. I didn't feel lightheaded anymore, nothing. I didn't think it was true. I immediately began texting my cousins and everyone because I'm super close with them, and I needed someone to talk to. Calling my mom, calling my dad. I couldn't even sleep that night. I didn't know. It was worse because I was overseas. I wasn't there with my dad. I wasn't there to comfort him. I wasn't there with my family to share memories and try to think positive that, hey, he's not hurting anymore. I had my husband, and my husband's a great man. He took me around driving afterwards with some fresh air, and he was there for me. We went to the zoo that week and stuff before we left, and we went to go feed monkeys and all that to get my mind off of it until I got to go home and be with my family. But when something like that happens and you're miles away and you can't just get a hug from a family member, you can't just cry together, it was hard. I I didn't know what to do. I remember going out and getting Sour Patch Kids and eating those because anytime he went to the store, all he ever wanted was Sour Patch Kids. Those were his favorite. I remember listening to songs that reminded me of him and doing whatever I could. It really hurt. It really hit me. Going home, being there with family. We had a nice service, but I wasn't home for long. And then a year later, I was away from family on the year anniversary, and I think the 1 year hurts the most. That was hard. My husband got me out, listened to sad songs, cried, watched movies, went walking. I wasn't alone, but it really hurt because I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't be with family and just get a dinner, and I kind of was just by myself with the thoughts in my head. My husband did work on the anniversary, and so it was hard while he was at work. There's still some sins that remind me. I'll be watching a TV show, I'll be listening to the radio, and something will come on and it'll just hit me out of nowhere. People say that it gets better in time and it's gonna be okay. It never will. It's never something you can just get over. Yeah, you're happy, you live your life, and you do live your life through them. Well, for them. They live through you. And you want to have the memories and the stories you can tell them next time you see them. There's going to be good days, there's going to be bad days. But I know he loves me. I know he wants me to be happy. I know he loves all of my friends and family. I just hope he knows I love him. Thank you for watching this, guys, and bearing with me through everything. I really don't know much more to say. I could go on and on. I could tell you stories for days, but I'm gonna call it here. Thanks again.